Email, the bane of every recruiter, whether you're a headhunter or an internal recruiter. Email is the bane of every recruiter's existence. Why? It's a pop quiz. You better not get this right because I only got one book and I already owe it to her.
Too much.
What's that?
Too much. Too easy.
Oh, no, I got to turn the slide. Key or what? Click, click. All right, here's the pop quiz question. Which of these emails did I open first?
Attachment.
Which one?
The attachment.
Nope.
John D. Morale.
Nope.
One at the top.
Nope. Nope.
The one from your mother?
Nope. Mom knows better.
You didn't open it.
Thank you. I can't give you the book. No, I'm going to have to give you the book.
Trick
I'll have to
question.
go and buy one. It was a trick question. I didn't open any of them. But here's why I didn't open any of them. Okay, search guys in the room. How many resumes do you get every week from blastmyresume.com? Sign up for $93 and be on the website of 86 bazillion recruiters who are just waiting to talk to you. It's a business. They're making money. Hand over fist. Why? Because people go, oh, that sounds really good. You know, odds are someone's going to have a job for me. That's cool. But reality is, anyone with half a brain goes, oh, well, I have this little thing called a filter in my, my email. So if it comes in from this one or this one or this one, it just goes off to the side. The secret to me, real simple. I get 3,300 emails a day. Okay? My mother can get through. Well, she could. But the people that I know can get through. Why? They know they have to put my name in the subject line. That's how I know it's not spam. Okay? And more importantly, all of these ones, they get picked up, boom, 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 they're gone.
There are two parts of the email
just
there,
gone.
folks. You know enough to put an intelligent kind of a resting subject line, but you also have to worry about your from line. This is, again, the PS is the second most read part of any sales letter. The first part's the salutation. This is, in effect, the salutation, hey. And then, who's this from? So if it's, I love bowling 1969 at AOL.com, it's from someone I don't take seriously. If it's from, I'm a Michigan State grad, I tell you this, I'm not kidding. If it says Michigan fan, they're the great Satan. I'm not in a hurry to talk to those people. But I got an email last week from a fellow Spartan alumnus like me, and I talked to the guy. I made time for him. So it's not only your subject, it's your from line. Because this is how, you know how your resume looks when you're sending it out, but this is how it looks when it arrives. So you've got two ways to make an impression. It's not just a subject, it's
Now,
the
let's
from.
be honest. With you, there's three.
And
He's also a Detroit Red Wings fan. I know. I didn't know he had a hockey team either. But then again, neither does Toronto, right? No offense.
Yeah, these people are going to walk on us. We're going to
Hey,
get to
we got there
questions.
last year. We just lost, that's all. All
So,
right.
This is it writ large. David will jump in and interrupt as he does. But
Here's what I get a lot. Oh, sorry. Go. I'll stand over
my wife
quietly.
hates it when I do this. So a subject, this is something that got your attention, correct, David?
Yep.
Got action. This is your subject, sales VP resume attached for your review. No, this did not get his action. This was a yawner.
I get 1,000 of these a day. So what? Who cares? Why you? I'm lazy. I got 3,300. Boom. You got that much time. So let's bring it to life. So the guy that actually got through to me, wasn't on the screen, said, David, how many VPs of sales can generate $150 million in just 3 years? Come on, guys. Dollar bill stamped in the middle of this buddy's head. I got to open this one. Boom, I did. Here was the opening before. As a senior sales company executive, I have developed, mentored, managed high-performance sales teams, installed sales metrics, and created sales plans and strategies in a highly competitive market. Oh, my God, give me a break.
Stop.
Where was your English teacher?
Did you hear him gasping for breath? This is how you improve any cover letter or email. Read it out loud. If you're gasping, that's a sign from God that you need to put in a period or a dash or make the numbers and the letters and the words smaller. Read it out loud. If you read it out loud, it's impossible to write gibberish like this.
So how do we fix this?
We go to the next slide.
The guy actually sent, this is an actual email. By the way, I got this guy. I placed him in 3 days. I had him out on 4 interviews in 2 days' time. I know that's unusual. I'm kind of good. But it really was. He got my attention, and I knew exactly what to do with him. He said, hey, Dave, sales VPs, they're a dime a dozen, right? Yeah, exactly. Except me, and here's why. Boom, boom, boom. 3 shells right through my forehead. Exactly what I wanted. Picked up the phone? Yeah, you bet I picked up the phone. We were in a conversation within 2 or 3 minutes. I'd ask him the 5 or 6 questions that a guy like me is intelligent enough to ask, that tells me whether or not this guy's going to play ball with me and whether or not his accomplishments are real. That's all I really need to know. Are the accomplishments real? Are you going to play ball? And anyone in the room that's a headhunter can tell you what playing ball means. But it means I own you as a candidate for a specified period of time. 5 days, 7 days, 2 weeks. You're the hot prospect. You're my most placeable. You're my MPA, my most placeable applicant. Yes, folks, I play both sides of the board. Not only do I get paid by employers bags of cash to go out and find someone to solve an issue, but I've been at it long enough. And by the way, in our business, long enough is 2 years. I've been at it long enough to understand where I can take someone who's got real accomplishments, who understands where they add value and where I can place them. And I can make 10 phone calls and schedule 3 or 4 interviews. A couple of them will be the clients I already have. A couple of them will be with people that are thanking me for picking up the phone and calling them. And I'll place them and I'll make money. And how did I do that? Because this guy got to the point. Boom, done. And I do it, once a week, once every 2 weeks. All right. We're in the home stretch. Who's still with us? Show of hands.
All right.
All right, you're keeners. All right. Let me paint the picture for you. We're going to have to cut some of this off the film because this is... I get hired by a CEO in from the States to help take a company through a transition process to get them acquired in 5 years. Okay? Well, what I did instead was I went out and hired a VP of marketing, which gave the CEO so much comfort in my ability to understand where he wanted to go with this team that he said, here you go, go fix the rest of it. I hired 11 guys. First 2 guys I hired was a VP of marketing, then I hired a director of product management. These 2 guys worked with the rest of the executive team and took them from worst, absolute dead last in their industry, from worst to first and into a $75 million acquisition in 10 months. And how were they rewarded? No offense. They were bought by Americans and promptly fired. Gone. They took their pay packages, and that was their thank you very much. Well, it'd be a sad story if it ended there, but it's not a sad story, because these 2 guys ended up being friends of mine, and they turned around, and the book had just launched. This is 2005. The book had been on the shelf for about 2 months. And Daryl and Alan came to me, and they said, you're the Guerrilla guy. Does this stuff really work? I said, of course it works, right? I said, great. Well, we want you to market us as a team. We want to go to our next gigs, the 2 of us together. So we set up a program, we put a plan in place, we put a bunch of stuff together, and we went out and got 38 prospects, 18 initial interviews, 11 follow-up interviews, and 7 offers in 3 or 4 weeks. I can't remember anymore. Let's call it 4 weeks. How do we do that? Maestro? Okay. Multiple things. This is where the force multiplier comes into effect. It's not one resume. We're going to go through we're going to show you the actual stuff we used. Targeted list that we put together with Zoom Info. Find yourself, that's great. I used to go and get prospects for employers. So, targeted list, direct mail campaign, 2 Guerrilla resumes, a website, a blog, series of podcasts. Everybody know what a podcast is? We did a series of podcasts. Press release, did a white paper that we sent to CEOs, we did 2 or 3 public speaking engagements, and we did an email and fax campaign. In 5 days. All of this. Kevin? Here's the first piece that went out. What we did was we targeted 10 companies specifically that we wanted either in the process or off our list. And we sent the CEO a box, you can see it in the back, with a cup, with a little note. And Daryl, I love him, is holding this sign up and says, it essentially says, I'm a marketing guy and you need me, here's why. Call me, with a little note that's handwritten here that says, I want to buy you a cup of coffee, you may not have time to come, here's the coupon, let's get together on the phone. We had these delivered by Canada Post. Okay? Well, Canada Post allows you to track this stuff. So 10 of them go out, and the next morning we're watching the website as people are signing for them. Ding, that one's been received. Ding, that one's been received. Ding, that one's been received. 9 of them were received the next morning before 9 o'clock and opened. And opened. And 5 minutes later, the phone starts to ring. Hi, is this the guy that's handling this, Daryl guy? Yeah, that's me. Why? What do you want? Well, we just got your package in, so let's go to the next one. We did a series of podcasts. There's a great site on the internet that if you don't know about it, you got to write down, guys. It's called Total Picture Radio, totalpicture.com. What it is an internet podcast site. And Peter Clayton, who runs it, interviews the best HR thought leaders, the best recruiters, writers of, like Mark, of recruiting books and HR and career books. And he does the interviews and then podcasts. You can get the interviews and listen to these guys. It's free, by the way. It's free. So I went to Peter and I said, listen, I got these two guys, and I told them the whole story. And what we'd like to do is we'd actually like to put the book through the mill. I would like you to interview these two guys and myself once, twice, 3 times, 4 times over a 4, 5, 6 week period. Because we're going to do all this guerrilla stuff to place these two guys. And I want to prove that this works. So he interviews us before we start and our lofty expectations. And then 2 weeks later, and then a week after that, and about 2 weeks after that. So you can actually go and listen. I was going to say listen live, but they're over. But you can actually go and listen what we did, why we did it, how it worked, what didn't work. It's still up on the site. Here's one of the part of the newspaper campaign we did. We did a couple of press releases that essentially said, how did we put this? You think you got the best technology in the world, well, your marketing sucks. So we can fix your marketing so you can actually, compete with the rest of the world. And we said, here are these two guys that have done this for this firm, and now they're being sold and peddled by this recruiter to get them, Anyway, we told the story, and it ends up in 2 different articles. By the way, they've also been in the Wall Street Journal, and they've also been on the front page of the career section of the Globe as part of this. We just don't have the clips up. But that was part of the press release stuff we did, and we did a white paper, and it got reported. Next one. Here's the website. Daryl did a website. It's a great website. If you scroll over, what can I do for you? It actually pops up a matrix in real time talking about the employers he worked for, what he did, what the accomplishments were. Do you know what this cost? Nothing. Called a buddy of his and said, hey, here's what we're doing. Here's why I need to be part of it. And of course, you know that I'm going to hire you to do my work again when I land my next marketing gig, right? Duh. Yeah, okay. So invest a little bit of time. Boom, away we go. This blog